All right, we're going to call the Monday, April 7th, 2025 Emmaus Borough Council meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up on our agenda is Personal Appeals Part 1. If you have a personal appeal, now's the time. Please approach the podium. You have 5 minutes for your appeal. Please state your name and address for the record. And I do believe I saw you sign in earlier.
Yes, I did.
Thank you for that.
Sure. Hi, I'm Allison Flore. I'm the new library director. I wanted to pop by and just say hello. So for my address, I guess would be the library. That's where I live. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you so much for all of your support. I really appreciate it. I started at a very busy time of the year for the library at the beginning of the year. They were preparing for the Tea Time fundraiser, which went really, really phenomenal. The Friends are getting ready for their book sale at the end of this month. And we are working hard to prepare for the Summer Reading Club, which is going to be a lot of art-related programs to go with the theme Color Our World. And we're going to start with an ice cream social to kick off. And also, as you probably saw, the roof project started today, which is fantastic. Really, really perfect timing so we can get that done and have that checked off the list by the time summer comes around. From what I understand, all the materials were set up today and they'll be back Wednesday once the weather is fair. So just wanted to, again, say thank you so much for your support and stop by and say hi.
Thank you very much. If you want to come back or walk in the front, get a better picture.
Strike a pose.
Bookworm.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Borough Council. My name is Bruce Carl. I live at 136 North 4th Street. I had put in my application for a handicap placard at my address. Unfortunately, my health has gotten worse, but our parking on our street is a little bit of a problem because due to the fact of the garage, the church, the high rise, and the amount of cars per household. So it's hard to park in front of my house. And due to my health conditions, I really need to be able to not walk as far. I put my groceries in the house at a short distance. And then I have to double park. And unfortunately, 4th Street sometimes is a very busy road with people flying up and down that street pretty fast. So if you can speedily along the process, I'd really appreciate it. Because they had told me it would be like 90 days. And to me, that's a little bit unacceptable. Because the state only takes 10 to 15 days to do the placard and even give us our license. So if you can help, I'd appreciate it.
Well,
Thank you.
Mr. Carl, thank you for coming to the meeting. And it's fairly accurate information. We have our next public safety meeting is here on the 9th. It'll go through the committee, get approved. And since handicap parking is done by ordinance, it goes through 2 readings to be approved. I don't think that there's any way that we can speed that process up any faster than that. It's like any other ordinance, but as long as all the paperwork.
Well, it also goes through the police department and they have to do an assessment as to whether or not he has available parking, whether or not he needs it. I mean, and it looks like your paperwork is in order in your form.
My doctor's he's only done one other one.
Yeah, but there's police department recommendation, public safety, and then if the committee recommends it, we would probably do a first reading on April 21st, and the second reading in best case scenario would probably be May 5th, but in all likelihood, May 19th. And then we have to get the sign and get all that up, which is not an overnight process. We don't have those parking signs sitting in inventory because we also have to order. I'm assuming you probably have a placard number.
Yeah.
Right. So we would have to order. We'd have to order the permit number, from a sign manufacturer. So it takes a little bit of time to get all of that stuff in.
They've changed that since I worked for the Bureau. We used to have the signs down at the
Yeah,
shop and just staple it to a pole.
yeah. No,
Put it in.
we have to follow what the PennDOT regulations are now, which have changed. Yeah. So, Mr. Solicitor, do you have anything else with that?
No, no, I only was gonna, you're right, time.
Thank you, Mr. Carl. Is there any other further public appeal from our audience? Do we have any online guests?
We do. Not sure that.
If anyone online has a public appeal, now's your time. Please unmute yourself.
I don't think he's going to.
He's addicted now.
All right, hearing none. Does anyone have a community minute to bring forward? Mr.
Sure.
Sanders?
I will. Thank you, Mr. President. Just a quick reminder for the to save the date for Earth Day 2025, which will take place at Community Park on Saturday, April 26th from 8:30 a.m. till noon. And it's a great event to help clean up the town and make a little difference. So everybody can come out. We'd love to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have a community minute to bring forward?
I do, Mr.
Madam Mayor?
President. Now that you brought that date up, Mr. Anders, that's also Drug Take Back Day. So somebody will be at the police department. If you have unused prescriptions, old prescriptions that you want to get rid of, drop them off. I think it's 10 to 2, maybe. I'm not sure of the time, but I know it starts at 10. Also, on the 15th, we have a ribbon cutting. We have a new business in town at 344 Main Street. Life Made Easy, home residential business cleaning service. We will be having a ribbon cutting at 10 a.m. The actual event runs from 9 to 11. Everybody's invited to attend, so come on out.
Great. Anyone else have anything? Hearing none. Under special presentations tonight, we have Alan Sylvester from the Rec and Entertainment Commission.
Hello. Hello, good evening, everybody on council, Madam Mayor. For those online, I know most people here know that I chair the Emmaus Entertainment and Recreation Commission. But for members of the public and the people at home, our committee is basically a borough committee that puts on all of our summer events each year, our concerts at the park, and many more. So I just wanted to come before council tonight to kind of highlight some of the new things. I believe you should all have a copy of the flyer in your packets. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, great. For concerts at the park, nothing really changes. Same overall lineup, some of the main staple bands. We did kind of mix up a little bit of variety and genre on some of the nights to kind of appeal to different audiences. But overall, nothing really changes there. The cool things that we're doing this year is we're bringing in the Pennsylvania Shakespeare Festival, which is really, really cool. They do a program where they basically go into communities across the Lehigh Valley and they put on free shows. So no cost to us. They do all the production. Basically, we just give them the space, host them, and it's free to the public, free to the community. So really cool. This year they're doing, the date for that is going to be June 3rd at 6 o'clock. And all the information about the description of the show they're doing is on the flyer there, and it's also on our website. And the other cool thing I wanted to highlight is with our Tunes in the Triangle series. This year, and this is kind of my idea, we're calling it Everything Emmaus. So the idea is that all the bands, all the vendors, everything, the vendors that sell, the breweries, they're all connected in some way to Emmaus. So it's a whole cool way to promote local business, all the small boutique vendors, we have places coming like Kindness Project might come, Animal Food Bank, we're in talks with all those people to vend. So it's all going to be Emmaus-based groups. So I just wanted to show you guys and highlight some of the cool things that we planned this year. And it'll open it up if you guys had any questions for me or my committee.
Not a question, but
Yeah.
just a great job. I'm looking at the sponsors and you and your team have done a phenomenal job of getting sponsorship for the events and some really great names, that's listed on the flyer there. So just a phenomenal job from you and your team, and thank you for the efforts.
If I could add on the sponsorships, actually, I will be updating this. We just got another sponsorship tonight from Lehigh Valley Health Network. So I will be adding that on
Phenomenal.
shortly. I just, like an hour ago, they called me, so.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Brad.
Thank you. How long have you been chairing this now? Is it five
5
years?
years?
5 years?
Going
Yeah.
into 6.
But thank you, because I know there's been times where you're the only one on the committee or maybe one other person. What is the committee at right now?
5 as of.
Or
this last
commission, I
month.
should say.
5, including
5.
myself.
That's a healthy
So
number.
now we have people.
That's healthy number compared to past years. So hopefully,
no, it's
hopefully
great.
they're able to put some effort in.
Everybody is
Time-wise.
ready to
time-wise.
go, and they have ideas, and
Yeah.
yeah,
But
everybody's
thank you
great.
for holding that together. I know how much
No
work's
problem.
involved because, my wife did it for
Right.
3,
Mhm.
4, 5 years also.
No problem. Thank you. Sure, you can get my picture.
Strike a pose.
Anyways, okay.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Alan.
All right, next up, would anyone want to make a motion to approve the March 17th council meeting minutes? Motion by Mr. Lavenberg. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Baumgartner. Is there any additions, corrections, discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? 7 ayes. We have one decision on bid that needs to be done. That is for the CDBG ADA project. It looks like for this, there is 7 ADA ramps that were done. We had
Intersections.
6 complete intersections. I guess it is the intersection.
They're all cross.
Yeah, they're all
They're not 4-way. They're all 2-way.
2-way. We had 6 bidders, and Zagura Concrete came in for the best price on that. Would anyone like to make a motion to accept the bid for $75,400 for Zagora Concrete?
So move.
Mr. Lavenberg, is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Brown. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
Just-
sir.
the only thing I would note is even when you look at what the curb cuts cost, $10,000 to $12,000, you can see why 75,000, it only goes so far with the grants that we get and why we only get so many done per year. So it's just when you see that, and that was the low bid. When you look at some of the others and how high they were, it's
Yeah. So again, remember so the standard is it's about $5,000 to $7,000 per curb, right? So there's again,
Two.
they're all cross. So they're 2, but yeah, you're paying somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000 per curb. And that really, the reason why that fluctuates is depending on how many feet of sidewalk and additional curbing you have to do beyond just the ramp piece, right? Yeah, it's I think it's also of note, Zagura was a low bid of 75,400. The high bid was Engelman, and that was 148,339.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
when you look
Big
at
spread.
the fluctuation there, so it's pretty significant.
and of note that Zagura has done many of ours in town here and has done a great job over the years.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Brown?
Who keeps the running list of the curb or the ADA? Is there a running list?
Yeah, we have one
Does
down
Lawrence take care
the
of that?
codes department.
Codes department.
Yeah, so the codes department has always done the measurements. I mean, since they have the accessibility certifications, they do all the prep for me to apply for the grants. So they keep a running tab. So since Borough Council has started budgeting for pavement work, it's changed our approach to what curbs are getting done moving forward. So the last 2 years have been focused around the Chestnut Street area because PennDOT's supposed to be coming through and doing Chestnut and Main Street in the next year or two. So we were going to be forced to do the cross streets no matter what. That was part of the job. So we've used the CDBG money for the last 2 years, including this year's, to focus our energy on the
Got
cross
it.
streets. Next year, the grant that we're applying for now, we're looking at South Sixth Street and the other roads that have on the paving schedule. Moving forward, we'll try to do as many as we possibly can.
All right, so I would talk to we had a resident earlier this year, I think it was. She was worried about was it Crest? What?
The
apartments.
apartments by the high school.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
With that. So if I would ask that the codes team would put that on their list.
Yeah, we certainly can. I mean, if
Right.
council wants to, if you have a strategy that you want to take.
No, the
Right,
strategy
so-
that you have is great.
Yeah, so one of the strategies that we took was, focus around the high foot traffic areas first.
Yep.
But since we've moved on to council's finally put money into a paving schedule, we really need to do the handicap curb ramps when you do street reconstruction.
It
But
makes
if you
sense.
want, like, if you all have like a spot that we want to do because it's high traffic in town, we can certainly, even if it's way off of the beaten path from where the other curbs are that we're putting into the application, we can certainly ask for that curb cut. So my grant is due next week. If you want me to put that curb cut into that grant application, we can. We have about 104,000, I think, in application. We're not going to get anywhere close to that from the county, but they've told us to go ahead and ask for more than what they can allocate just in case there is leftover funding. But we could certainly put that on the request list if Borough Council wants that intersection on there.
No, I appreciate the opportunity to, I think I
Yeah.
would default to your team and to the coach team, been doing a great job. So, but I think I'm just going to ask them to add it to the list. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
Very well.
Anything further? All right, we have a small list of communications to run through here.
We didn't
Not yet.
vote. You didn't
No,
vote.
you didn't vote
We
yet.
didn't vote on that?
Nope.
Oh, sorry. Does anyone else have anything to discuss? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? 7 ayes. We have a few communications to run through. First up is a reappointment of Lucy McLeod to the vacancy board for a 1-year term that would expire on January 2nd of 2026. Would someone like to make a motion to reappoint Lucy? Mr. Lamberg?
So I'd like to make a motion that we approve her contingent upon a background check, which is something that we discussed in general administration committee, because we haven't been following through with background checks, which we need to do. It's required by the state. So I'll put that contingency on.
Okay. Oh, anyone want to second that motion?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Baumgartner. Is there any other further discussion? Any-
What's the background check? You looking for like a criminal background
State,
or
it's free. It's state background check.
just a regular state background?
If something pops, it pops.
Police
And,
department does it, I believe.
So we can do a Pennsylvania police background or state police background check as a volunteer, and it doesn't cost. But we need to be more vigilant in doing that. It's free. No, it's free. If it's for our agency for volunteers, it's free.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Nice. Next is the Emmaus Veterans Committee.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Can I just bring up, the application where they fill out for volunteers? I'm not sure, is it mentioned down there that they're going to,
It's been
it is mentioned,
being
okay.
redone. Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Thank you.
Good
Being
point.
redone.
Next up is the Emmaus Veterans Committee Memorial Day Parade request. We'll send this to staff. The date of the parade is going to be 5/26. The next communication is also from the Emmaus Veterans Memorial Triangle Dedication Events request. They would like to do a dedication on 5/18 between the hours of 1 and 3. Since it's a new event, and we're not going to take this to committee, we'll just discuss this tonight for approval. Would someone like to make a motion to approve their request? Mr. Brown, second.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Baumgartner. Any discussion?
Yeah,
Roy?
so
I,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I was just gonna say, do we really need to take it to a committee here? Because I do believe,
We're not taking, we're voting on it right now.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said you were going to.
No, I said there's no reason to take it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I misheard.
Okay.
I misheard. Ugh. Okay.
So they are requesting, they have asked me, I met with the committee the other day. They are asking for no parking around the triangle like they previously had requested.
And some street clothing.
And so you can include that, yeah, and some street closing. So you can improve that in your motion, or we can just ask Madam Mayor to, if she would consider taking care of that, as well. It's tomato, tomato. It's up to you guys.
What would you like? Use one
If you want to add it to your motion, that's fine. Or whoever made the motion.
That's fine.
They're looking to close 3rd at North Street, 4th at North, and then between North.
It's
Between
basically what they do
3rd,
for the parade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
For the service.
Yeah.
That's how they close
and
it.
it's a Saturday.
Motion amended.
I'll
Motion
am- I'll
amended.
amend my second.
All right, motion amended. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Next up is the East Penn Instrumental Musicians Club is asking for an event on September 27th. And this is at the border of us and Upper Milford. They're asking for a little bit of a street closing. This I'm just going to give to the mayor to handle. Next up is Brittany O'Connor, volunteer application for the Planning Commission. That will send to Health, Sanitation, and Codes for review and scheduling. And we got a communication from Mr. Bruce Carl about his disabled parking spot, which we will send to Public Safety, and that'll be addressed at the next meeting. Borough Engineers Report. We have none. Mr. Solicitor.
All of my items are later. Progress.
Thank you. Under unfinished business part 1, we have no items. Under new business, we have no items. Under unfinished business part 2, we have no items. Does anyone have any items that are not on the agenda that they'd like to bring forward? Hearing none. Madam Mayor's report.
Thank you. You have my report. Any questions? Progress.
Thank you. Committee reports, Public Works, Mr. Anders.
We have nothing for official action. We did meet this afternoon at 4:45. The minutes will be in our next council packet. Our next meeting is May 12th, 2025 at 4:45 p.m. With that, I'll report progress.
Thank you. Under Health, Sanitation, and Codes, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Only one item for official action for tonight that I'm going to have to hand over to Mr. Pepe to give an explanation of the Emmaus Commerce Center security release request. It looked like
Yeah, so this is a project that's been going on since Jim Farnsworth was the codes officer. And they are at the point of just some retention items. So that's why there's still the remaining balance. But with every major project that occurs, we reduce down their maintenance bonds or their retention money based on how far they are on the project. So at this point, we are being authorized by the engineer to reduce the security down to the remaining balance of $30,000.
so is this an official
Yes,
action?
technically.
So then I'll make a
It is.
motion then for the reduction in security of $32,768.33 for the Emmaus Commerce Center, leaving the remaining balance of $30,000.
Motion by Mr. Brown. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Dufresne. Discussion? Mr. Dufresne?
Yeah, so I know you just said about our engineer and stuff, but I thought we usually see like a letter from the engineer for things like this saying that they agree with.
There is a letter. from
There
the
is a letter.
engineer.
We just see the email.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
All right, nothing for further action tonight. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Next up is Parks and Rec. Our meeting notes are attached from our March 20th meeting. Our next meeting is going to be April 17th at 4:45. If no one has any questions, I'll report progress. Next up, Public Safety, Ms. Baumgartner.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have no items for official action. We have an agenda for our Wednesday, April 9th meeting at 9 a.m., which will address the handicap parking issue that came up as well as other things. So I report progress.
Thank you. General Administration, Mr. Lavenberg.
Yes, we met April 2nd. There's nothing to take action on. If anyone has any questions from what you read, you can ask me. And if there's no questions, I report progress. Our next meeting is April 16th here or by Zoom at 9 a.m. Progress.
Thank you. Budget and Finance, Mr. Dufresne.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have a few items for action tonight. The first one is Resolution 2025-10, Declaration of Official Intent to reimburse general funds used to construct improvements of well number 1 for PFAS treatment with funds received from the Pennsylvania Infrastructure Investment Authority. So Shane, I believe all this is saying when we get the money, it's going to go into the general fund. That's it, correct? That's pretty much what this is for. So I put that into the form of a motion.
With Mr. Dufresne, may I make one suggestion?
Yep.
That this, that you make that motion subject to any changes that Penvest may require to make to that resolution, that it be authorized.
So I will make a motion for this, subject to any changes that Penvest may make.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Dufresne, seconded by Mr. Lavenberg. Is there any further discussion?
Just simply that if it's messed up, blame your attorney. Okay. No, Mr. Solicitor, maybe you can explain both the resolutions
So,
that are
so
here.
we have a checklist we have to run through for these proceedings. Your Laguda stuff has been submitted and approved. Final approval will be on April 15th. But Penvest requires that you pledge the authority of the borough to essentially that these are where the funds are going to be coming from and where they'll be placed, where they'll be reused, and where they'll be replaced from. The second resolution, when you get to a 2025-11, is the borrowing authority, saying that Mr. Pepe, Mr. Balliet, and any of you, should it be necessary, would be able to sign the resolution authorizing the borough's borrowing authority under the MPC. That resolution may be modified slightly as we get closer to the actual closing date, and that's why that one is somewhat amorphous. But I did speak to both Penvest and to Gannett Fleming, and they did require this second one, which we did not think initially we would need. So that is 2025-11 before we get there.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? 7 ayes.
Okay, next is the adoption of our cash handling policy. You can see the 20-page policy in there. It's not that we didn't have a policy before. This is in writing now. Things have changed over the years. There's different departments that now handle cash and credit cards. So, you know, when you change your policies, your procedures, pardon me, you need to change your policies to make them good for internal controls with your new system here. So I put into a motion to adopt the cash handling policy.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lavenberg, or motion by Mr. Dufresne, seconded by Mr. Lavenberg. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Chris, thank you for getting that knocked out. I know that's been long in the works and wanting to get done.
Shane did most of the
Shane.
work and Chris did some of the work,
I
so.
did.
But it's a good, well-written policy. I'm a CPA, as most people know. It's a well-written policy with good internal control. So, and we are working on a few other policies just to formalize them more than what they are now. So hopefully we'll get to those in June, some of them.
Great.
All right, next is resolution 2025-11. Declaration of official intent to of the Borough of Emmaus to authorize the borrowing of $2,048,745,000 from the Pennsylvania Infrastructure Investment Authority for the purpose of constructing improvements to its well number 1 for PFAS treatment. So I'll put that in the form of a motion pending any changes by Penvest again, if there are any.
Motion by Mr. Dufresne, seconded by
Second.
Ms. Baumgartner. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
All right, next is the enter into an agreement with the Lehigh County for the radio purchase agreement. So we talked about this at our meeting last week, and the committee decided to enter into the agreement with the county for 5 years at 0% interest, which would mean our payback would be approximately $164,287 per year. And that's with our total cost for the radios being around $121,500. I'm rounding off on those numbers. So we need to make sure we budget that across police, fire, and EMS proportionally, but it's contingent upon them using the lower of the quote that we received and the quote that they have, which they said they would do. Obviously, there's no sense in paying more for it if we have a lower quote for the same radio. So it is contingent upon that. I put it in the form of a motion.
Motion by Mr. Dufresne, seconded by Ms. Watt. Discussion, Mr. Anderson?
Sure. Mr. Pepe, is it the life cycle of these radios 5 to 10 years? Is that
7, the expected life expectancy is 7 years on these radios.
7 years?
So it makes 0 sense to take a 10-year loan on something
Right.
that's only supposed to last 7 years.
No, I'm in
Uh,
agreement with the 5 years, and I knew the life cycle was somewhere within that time
Yeah.
frame. I'm just concerned with the future of what this cost is going to be to us.
Well,
you
so
know.
you also saw, I mean, it's just like, this is why you can't wait 20 years to buy dump trucks and things like that, right? Because you run into what we ran into. So if you start a replacement schedule early and you rotate, so you have you're not buying $1 million in radios at one time, right? Like that's what
Right.
you got to have a rotation schedule. The other thing that I would keep in mind is, so like the police, they're going to use those radios heavily, right? Because the officers work every single day. But at the same time, there are some other departments where maybe they won't use them as heavily. So that 7-year life expectancy might be 9 years instead, right? But if we start a rotation schedule early, then you're not going to have to worry about $1 million
Right.
purchase at one
I
time.
guess that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
is for our future. And of course, I know Miss Watt's working on 5-year, 10-year plans. So, okay. But that'll help out
Yeah.
a little bit. So, all right. Thank you. It's a concern for the future.
Were you going to say something?
A lot of the municipalities that we represent have been moved to this 5-year plan. That's what they've done. They feel it's the logical one. So you're falling in line with most of the municipalities that we're dealing with.
But you're absolutely right. We have to, I mean, we have to commit to that has to be in your budget for the next 5 years. You know, and by the way, you don't have a choice.
No.
Either you buy the radios or you go radio silent.
That's what I was going to make sure the
Yeah.
public was aware. This isn't
Yep.
because we want to do it. We really don't have a choice. It's just
Yeah.
how much we pay for it and how we pay for it.
Right. And they didn't give us enough time to apply for grant money for this. It's hurry up and wait, and now hurry up again. You know, and now it's like, okay, we're going. So, and since we're paying it to the county, really the grant would have needed to come from the county. So we've been having this discussion for enough time that we've been expressing that concern. So we got to enter the agreement and get moving with it.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
All right, next we have resolution 2025-12, the bill list. Resolved by Borough Council to authorize payment of the April 7, 2025 bill list as follows. Bill list $524,151.83. Payroll 6 and 7, $390,887.73. Payroll taxes $124,380.20 for a total of $1,039,419.76 done the 7th of April 2025. I put that in the form of a motion.
Motion by Mr. Dufresne. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Watt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
And you can see the significant revenue and expense in your packet. And you can also see the meeting notes. And in the meeting notes, it shows our next policy update will be for the bid process and the procurement policy that we'll work on there. So the next meeting, I will be unavailable, be out of the country here on May 7th. So unless the two of you want to have it, you'll be away too. So cancel. All right. So the May 7th meeting will be canceled. With that, I report progress.
Thank you. Next up is Community Relations, Planning and Development. Ms. Watt.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have not met since our last meeting. Mr. Dufresne will also be unavailable on Tuesday, May 6th. Is that correct?
I'll be unavailable, correct?
And Mr. Pepe?
I should be here.
Okay, well, if someone is interested in filling Mr. Dufresne's shoes for the day, that would be fantastic. Mr. Dufresne and I will have met with the department heads the week of April 21st, so we should have a lot to talk about. We should have input from every department, so we can make some progress on getting that 3-year forecast done. So it'd be great if someone is available, if they could come to that meeting on Tuesday, May 6th at 4:45 p.m. Progress.
Thank you. Under Boards and Commission, we have the Civil Service Commission meeting minutes from March 6th are attached. And Personal Appeals Part 2. Does anyone in the audience have personal appeal? Hearing none. How about any of our online guests? Anyone online? Personal appeal? Please unmute yourself. Say hearing none. Borough Managers Report.
So we have several items for you. The first item is with pool season comes a whole bunch of hiring of lifeguards, concession stand workers, pool employees. The great news is the majority of our lifeguards are returning. So that list is pretty short this year. Concession stand, Mrs. Reed has filled her concession stand needs. So we are hiring following individuals for the concession stand this year: Natalie Curran, Ava DiPietro, Evan Shook, Adriana Thier, Gabriela Ramos, Gianna Lutez, and Brody McHugh. So I've hired each one of those individuals.
And Shane, and that's contingent upon a background check also?
So I do a background check on all of our employees.
That one is done.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all done. And I've also hired Giovanni Ciccarello as a part-time firefighter. You'll see his resume in your packets. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I will report progress.
Shane, quick question for you.
I already reported progress.
Too late.
Under President's business.
Fire tower repairs was on the bill. Are we all fixed over there then? Are they complete?
So they're finishing the project up in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
We have a large grant that we received for that. I think I got I received $100,000 from the fire commissioner's office, and the county is also granting a dollar amount to that project as well. So, so they're finishing up probably in the next 2 weeks.
That's exciting
that
because I know
project.
it's been a few years since we've been able to use it. So that's great news. That's all. Thank you.
Under president's business, I have nothing. We do not have an executive session tonight. Would someone like to make a motion for adjournment? Motion by Mr. Lavenberg, seconded by Mr. Brown. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Meeting adjourned at 6:41.